Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches here. Excuse me. Sorry. With my Flosstube update number 351. Today is Saturday, September 14th. First of all, I want to apologize a little bit for how late my update went out last week. I filmed it obviously like in the afternoon, but when I went to upload it, I interrupted the upload somehow, and I didn't think to check on it later, and it still said upload, and I looked at the description box and everything I had written in the description box was wiped out. And so I retyped everything in the description box and went to upload, and I did something wrong, I don't know, because then it just dumped everything in the description box again or something. So, oh no, what it was is when I first went to do it, I had typed out everything in the description box, and I clicked on some strange thing, and it basically took it back to, and just, dumped the title, dumped the description box. So I retyped everything in the description box and the title and everything, and went to upload it. And that's when I guess I had like, because I was, on my way out the door or something. And so I had, ordinarily, the screen just kind of times out and goes dark, and it's still uploading in the background. But in this case, I guess, because I had I was trying to get out in a hurry, and I hit the button to make the screen go dark, to turn it off basically. And so it stopped uploading. So I didn't check on it for a while because I just, wasn't busy doing this and that and the other. And I went to look at it, and it still hadn't uploaded, and the description box is empty, and the title was gone. So I had to retype everything. And so it was probably, well, it was late at night. It was like almost midnight, maybe, I don't know, late at night. So that's why it went out. Even though I filmed it during the day, it didn't go out until late at night. Anyway, so I'm trying to squeeze this in real quick before I have to leave in about an hour or so. So hopefully this won't take long. I'm doing my update now. So I just have a couple of things to talk about, because I haven't really, I worked on the rabbits last week. I talked about that. I finished one and hadn't finished the other one. And I still haven't done any more work on that other rabbit, because I wanted to get started on one of my WIPGO calls. So my two WIPGO calls this month, number 4 and number 11. Number 4 was the main WIP was Wandering Sheep by Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches. I talked about this last week, how I had done, had started on the outline of the sheep. And so last week, as of last Saturday, I guess, I had finished the outline of the sheep, and it added some flowers and stuff, and this stem, but that was, where I was as of last week. So this week, and I've hit my 7 days, and so I may or may not get back to this. I'd like to get back to it, but so what I did was, I talked last week about how I wanted to do the sheep's face, so I did that. So I did a face. I think I had put in these flowers already, but so I and all of these pink flowers, but I have not yet done the green that is the grass and the stem of this flower. Is a different shade, and I haven't done that yet. I didn't do it last week because I had to do the sheep's feet before I could do that green. It was, because the grass, the green of the grass is under his feet, so I had to finish the lower part of his feet first. So as you can see, I still haven't done, I haven't done any more on his body because it's just fill-in, and I haven't, but I did do the face, and I had done this stem already, but so I did the big, I don't know, what's a thistle? The big flower on top, it's done. And then I did this heart down here in the design. So I still have the words, I still have this stem in the grass, and then this garland. And actually, I mentioned it last week that I thought that this black that's down here in this border, I had thought it was 310, but it's actually more lava rocks, this color, which is, it's a variegated black. But so I have ways to go to finish this. And like I said, I've done the 7 days that, met the goal for this, and we'll see if I get back to it. It just depends. I think I may, because the month of September, I'm going to finish the 7 days for my other WIPGO call. I'm going to finish it before the end of the month, so I have some time in there to play around with the other things that are on the list. The other rabbit, the June rabbit that I had kind of ghosted in there, and the secondary chart for this number, for the upcoming number, which is one of the Starry Night ones. So I want to do that, but it still gives me some leeway in there. So we'll see what I get back to. So since I had met the goal on that wandering sheep, I started my other WIPGO call, which is number 11, which is Lost and Found. And this is Silver Creek Samplers. I talked about this last week, or maybe the week before, I don't know. Silver Creek Samplers, design by Diane Grick. And I think this is from, 2020 is the date on the model. So I had started this one I had talked about how I had gone to, when I was looking up my whips long ago, at the beginning for this year, I had looked at it, and I thought, well, there was fabric in the hoop, and there was a needle in it, and I thought, well, did I do any stitching on it? And yes, I had. It's just that the thread that I was using was very very close to the color of the fabric for some reason, or didn't stand out enough in it anyway. And it's also very tiny, and so I realized, yes, I did stitch, you just can't see it. So it's right here, this you can kind of see the stitches up close like this, but really they're hard to see. And this is very high count, like maybe 46 count or something, I don't know, it's very tiny. So it's very, very tiny, and I was doing one thread over two, and because the color is so hard to see, especially with one thread, I took it out. I did a couple of extra days on Wandering Sheep, so that I could finish this, the thistle or flower or whatever, this thing, and finish the heart, because I wanted to get those two done. But so I took just a couple of days, to finish those motifs. And so it was, I think, late Wednesday night that I pulled out the Lost and Found thing to make sure I had all the threads and all that, because I had apparently at some point taken all the threads out of the project bag. They're all DMC. So I spent, that night, like, I had looked for the threads already, but I spent that night looking at the stitching to see where I had left off and what I was, where I was and all that. Because I actually had a thread, hanging on there. I quit mid-stitch last time. And so I had some that were like half stitches. I hadn't finished, the X's yet. And I was just trying to figure out where I was. So I put in a few stitches. I finished, that length of thread. Actually, the reason there's a piece of thread sticking out here, if I could find it again, is that the thread, shredded, it tore right there. And I could kind of tell it was going to do that because it was looking, you know, kind of raggedy. But anyway, so I had, you know, finished the X, and I had done a few more, you know, another line of stitching or something like that. And I realized that, you know, I really wasn't enjoying it. It's very tiny. It was hard to see. The color wasn't standing out enough. And I thought, you know, I'm barely started on, it was, the stitching was, because I started in the middle. So it was somewhere right here in the middle of this sheet. And I thought, I'm not enjoying it. It's hard for me to tell what I've stitched and what I haven't. And fortunately, I have a working copy of the chart. So I was able to sort of mark, you know, on it what I had done and what I hadn't. But I love this fabric. I really like the fabric. It's, you know, it's sort of an olivey, shade, sagey green color, and I really, really like the color. But I did not enjoy working on it just because the thread here there wasn't enough contrast in it to make it, you know, easy to see or whatever. So I lost my joy working on that. So I thought about it during the day on Thursday. It was playing in my mind that, you know, maybe I'll just restart it on different fabric. And then, so I don't know what I was doing Thursday. I don't know what, but so by the time I got around to, it was late before I got around to sort of trying to decide on fabric. So part of it is that this is a little bit on the large side. It's 147 by 131. So I need a you know, big enough piece of fabric, and you know, like I have a whole bunch of like white fabric that is like begging to be dyed because I don't want to stitch on white fabric. So, but all that fabric and the dyes that I have, the RIP dye that I have, is packed away in storage right now. So I only had what fabrics, I have some, you know, a stash of pieces of fabric you know, that I've done, that dyed for different reasons or whatever, and just, you know, of course, never used them. And so I thought, well, surely among that fabric stuff stash, I have something I can use. And so I did have a couple of green, like a little bit darker green and a lighter green, but it was a really big piece of fabric, and I kind of didn't want to use it. Even if I, you know, started in the corner, I would just use part of it. I thought, you know, I really don't want to do that. And I had some other 25 count, 32 count, whatever, but they were not large enough for this chart. Just by like half an inch or something, not, you know, and I didn't want to risk not having enough of a margin, you know, for finishing or whatever, because I, you know, don't know yet how I'm going to finish it. So anyway, so then I did have this piece of fabric and a lighter sort of pinkish piece of fabric. This one is a darker pink, kind of like a cherry ice cream. That's how I should give it. Kind of pink, a purpley pink, and the other one is a lighter, more. I can't describe it. More. It's pink also, but it's kind of a light on the lighter side of this. But I finally decided on this because I kind of did a floss toss, and I liked the way the colors looked on it better. The main color of the sheep's body is still a little hard to see, but we'll see how it works out. But everything else looks really good on it. So, so then instead of starting in the middle, I started in the upper left-hand corner. So that's what this thread's marking. So I started with this dove, and see this lighter sort of tan color in the dove is the color of the sheep's body. So I don't know if it'll show up. So, and this is the little border across the top, you know, part of the border across the top. And I'm missing one color that's that's used for the dove's beak. I know I have the color. It's just, you know, I don't know where it is. I have to find it. But so I started. I did a restart on this design, and I started in the upper left-hand corner. So I abandoned my lost sheep is lost. So I'm up here, and you can kind of see that the dove doesn't really stand out on this fabric either. So I like the way it does on this. And it's a little bit unconventional choice, I guess. The pink, I kind of wanted, I had, like I said, I had some blue fabric. It was 25 count, Lugana, and I guess I could have stitched it over one, but I didn't really want to. And over two on 25 count, it's very large, and the fabric wasn't big enough anyway. So the background color here, I don't know, it's kind of neutral, but it's sort of, I guess you could say it was a sky of, behind, because there's some mountains and there's a lake and there's a field or pasture or whatever, and the plants and all that. And so I think the pink doesn't matter as much, for the design. It's not specifically sky, specifically water, whatever, So far I'm really liking it. I'm liking it a lot more. So this is 2/2 with DMC colors, the call for DMC colors. So I just got a little bit of a start. So it's really, in many ways, not much more of a start than I had before, maybe more than I had before. But I still have a few more days. I don't think I've only done, I think Thursday was day one. So today's the third day on that. So I have more to go. So I'm hoping that I'll probably do, maybe finish this border across and either start this vine thing, plant thing, or maybe start the words. I don't know which. Probably the plant, just so I can get down here and get to the sheep. But anyway, so that's Lost and Found by Diane Grick of Silver Creek Samplers. And so really that's all I worked on, the Wandering Sheep and this restart of Lost and Found. I think, like I said, I still have Starry Night as my other secondary chart, and then hopefully I can finish that, because those charts are very small and fairly easy, and I'm hoping I can knock it out in just 3 or 4 days, and that still leaves me a little bit of leeway to either work more on Wandering Sheep or finish the June Rabbit or something else, So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so I think that's all I have to share this week, just because I'm in a hurry today to squeeze this in between other things that are going on today. I think that's it. Yeah. So, okay, so I will see you all next week, and hopefully I'll have some more stuff going on to share with you all. So, until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.